he is basically mouthing off to some of the underlings of Danilo and Diego. He's shitting on the country. He's smug. He has at this point. I don't know if he realizes he just has no leverage at this point. Like he really does. He really almost talked a bullet into his head, and then gets knocked. One of the guys, one of the lieutenants of Danilo and Diego, just call him out, saying we basically only need one of you to be alive. To be honest with you, and you just Teddy with the butt of the gun bust Teddy's eye. Danilo and Diego arrive. He calls them amateurs, and they say, "Hey, who's the amateur here? You got your shit taken, you got your drugs taken, you couldn't even you're late for your drop and what have you. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we're the amateurs." They make demands on what they want in order for this deal to go through. And a bunch of the stuff is just easy. It's just tedious. You're talking about condoms and just a bunch of tedious, maniacal shit until it doesn't get real serious until they bring up visas, and that's where Teddy draws the line and says, "Hey, I can't give you visas; those are official government documents." And they say, "Well, aren't you the government?" Which was a fair point. And then Matt jumps in and says, "Hey, look, Matt up until this point had kind of been going somewhat back and forth, trying to smooth things out, and because they're very close to getting killed. Like Teddy almost talked them into the grave. Matt smooths things out. Matt, you remember, was in Vietnam. He's dealt with some negotiations in terms of from that standpoint. He, in essence, saves their lives and says, "Hey, we can get you, we'll get you the visas, no problem." And they take to Matt and like Matt. Like listen, this won't be the first time where Teddy is smug and Teddy has a sense of this entitlement that will run throughout the course of the entire series. But he really in this scene almost got them killed with some of the stuff that he was saying.